guys, Wario here, and today I'm going to be doing my review on the Thomas & Friends Engine Celebration Pack. This was made for the 80th anniversary of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. So, let's get right to it, shall we? Let's start off with the most important part of the set, the engines. So, let's start off with the number one engine himself, Thomas. Alright, so here's Thomas, and oh my god, this is one of the best Thomases I've ever seen out of the merch lines. Like, the size is accurate, and, just, everything about it is so accurate. Like, it looks like you just jumped straight out the TV show. However, my only flaws with this are, the unpainted, ladder thingy. I don't know what it's called, to be honest. And the, unpainted whistle. Other than that, I think it looks pretty cool. So, here he is compared to the, Greatest Moments Thomas over here. You see, he has, the white running board and painted buffers, and, those little, light blue paint splotches, or whatever they're called. I don't really know what they're called, to be honest. This Thomas over here does not, and looks pretty normal. And he doesn't have, the painted buffers and lamp and running board. But either way, I still think this is a pretty cool Thomas. And, looks pretty accurate to the TV show. Probably my favorite model out of the bunch. Next up, we'll do Percy. Like Thomas, this is a pretty accurate model. He has pretty accurate proportions in that. And I actually like this model, probably my second favorite out of the bunch. However, there are a few flaws with this Percy. He's missing his water cap for when he gets his water. Another thing that kind of bugs me is that Percy has this middle side rod thing, which is weird because Percy has four wheels. And another flaw is that they didn't paint the coal bunker back here. It's only painted on the sides. But other than that, I still think this is a pretty cool Percy model. Second favorite by Thomas. Next up is Gordon. Boy, do I have a lot to say about you, buddy. Alright, so here's Gordon, and where do I even begin? One of my biggest flaws out of all is that, look at how fat his face is! Holy crap! Mattel, what was going on for you guys? You did well for Thomas and Percy, why'd you just give up at Gordon here? But we can't be all too negative on Gordon. Or should I say, fat face. I mean, I suppose, the proportions are pretty good. But, if it weren't for, the short-ass buffer beam and the fat face, I mean, with the fat face, this still would have been a pretty good model if it weren't for the short-ass buffer beam. But there is an upside, though. The coal in here is removable, kind of like they did for the Trackmaster 2 talking models. But still, either way, I'm sorry, but this is my least favorite model out of the motorized bunch. Sorry, Gordon. Moving on to the push-alongs, let's start with James. Now, James here, I gotta say, he actually does look pretty accurate. And although this kind of does give off the Bachmann model vibes and stuff, I'd say mainly because, the proportions and, the gray wheels right here. But I don't really have a problem with that. But one thing I noticed is that, why does he have, a golden side rod? Was it to make him look, fancier or something? I mean, he has, a golden dome, but that doesn't mean he needs, golden side rods or something. The tender does look a little funky here, but either way, I still think this is, a pretty cool model. Last up is Henry. Now, for Henry, I guess this model is pretty decent. I mean, they showed him some respect by giving him, the rivets, like they should have done for all the engines in Season 23 a long time ago. But there are a couple flaws with this. Why does he only have 2 splashers? Henry in the show is supposed to, have 3 splashers, and not 2. And, another thing that kind of bugged me is, the tender. It doesn't have, a lower buffer beam. I mean, the face looks pretty accurate, but, I would kind of change the eyebrows, because, the way they look. And unlike the other engines, where they're just, staring in, different places, Henry over here is just, staring into my soul. And I kind of don't know how to feel about that. Either way, this is kind of an model. Now, let's move on to the box art. So, the box art right here for the, packaging, I'd say it is pretty decent in that it looks pretty cool. Haven't gotten a CGI artwork in quite a while. Now, there are a bit of flaws here and there. Some of the engines here look kind of funky, most notably Thomas, Gordon, and Henry. Like, what happened to Thomas's wheel right there? Like, I don't see it anywhere. And for Gordon, how come he only has, like, 2 front wheels instead of 4? And what bugs me, too, is that, like, his side rod is not, like, going into his cylinder right there. But for Henry, what the heck is going on over here? Like, jeepers, Henry, you okay, buddy? Percy and James look pretty decent. Now, I've been hearing all over the internet saying that this was AI generated. And my personal opinion, I wouldn't say this is AI generated, but rather poorly rendered. Just in my opinion, to be honest. But I suppose the artwork looks pretty cool in that. Now moving on to the back art. Here, nothing too special. You get like a bunch of various Thomas and Friends characters. 4 of my favorites are on here. Obviously, Thomas, Percy, Duck, and James, my boys. But nothing really to say. But from what I've been hearing, this is supposed to like confirm like more diecast models or like motorized. I'm not too sure, but that's what I believe, what I've heard actually. Now, let's move on to another important part of the set. The playmat. Now, I do suppose the playmat looks pretty cool in that. I kind of expect it to be like a rug of some sort. But I still think it looks pretty cool. It does give a bit like that All Engines Go vibe. I'd say mainly because like the solar panels and the coloring and cartoony stuff and whatnot. And mainly, that part right there, I kind of forgot what it's called, but like, I definitely know it's for like from a location and All Engines Go. But one thing that kind of threw me off is Cranky right here. Like, what the heck happened to you, buddy? Like, is he feeling okay? But I suppose the playmat is okay, and it's pretty decent. Pretty small with the locations and whatnot, but, you know. And that's literally the purpose of this entire thing right here. Like, put the engines on it and have them work hard, be really useful and have fun and whatnot, just using your imagination. But yeah, this is pretty decent. Finally, let's move on to the last part, the box art. Or, part 2 of the box art. I gotta say, I love this cartoony style they gave Thomas here. Like, it mixes up both the classic series and All Engines Go. I'm kind of convinced what the new 2026 TV show would look like. But who knows, we just gotta wait and see. And there's more down here, where you get all the characters that come with the box set. Thomas, Percy, Gordon, James, and Henry. Now, one flaw of this is that Henry's missing his number, but, like, James isn't right here. But I don't know what happened. But I really love this art design. It's very clever. But anyway, that's all for this video. That was my review on the Thomas and Friends Engine Celebration Pack. This set is exclusive on Amazon, and if you want to get some engines easier, go ahead and buy this set. But anyway, yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.